Hello, vinyl community. This is Graham Allen coming from North London in the UK. It's been a long time since I've posted a video. No particular reason for that. I think, like everyone, been pretty preoccupied with the comings and goings of the COVID-19 situation and work. And of course, record shops were closed for quite a long period of time, but I have been making some trips. The main purpose of this video is to go through a couple of, 4 albums that I got from a trip to Brighton and also to Manchester and Bolton. And I'm originally from the northwest of the UK, and there was an absolutely amazing record shop in Bolton called X Records, which I picked up a couple of really amazing albums from there at a good price. And Manchester as well was very good for vinyl shops. Again, there is quite an indie scene going back to the 90s. I'm a bit of a prog boy. So there wasn't quite as much jazz fusion prog as I'd have hoped, but it was a really good trip, and I've got some really unusual finds. Really, they're all related to Emerson, Lake and Palmer and Powell. There's very little that I haven't got. I've got a huge collection relating to that band. They're my favourite band. Spanning sort of 40 years, so it's very hard to find anything that I haven't got, but there's 2 pretty amazing finds really that I got for very good prices. So first of all, I picked up this in Lancaster. This is Cozy Powell's second album, solo album, and it's called Tilt on the Polydor label. A lot of kind of water wear damage here on the sleeve. I got it for £3. The actual record plays really well, which is great. It's on the Polydor label in great condition. Cozy Powell in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, released a number of albums. They're kind of the rock end of fusion. If you like Jeff Beck, who Cozy Powell, of course, worked with in the Jeff Beck group, then I think you'll like Cozy Powell's solo albums. He uses a stellar cast of people, including Jeff Beck on this album. Gary Moore has played with him, Don Airey on keyboards from Whitesnake and Deep Purple. And there's some vocals on this album as well from a guy called Elmer Gantry. I think he's passed away now, I'm not sure on that. But it's kind of fairly heavy fusion rock towards the rock end, so a little bit progressive as well. Cozy Powell always recorded the drums really well. They were very well mic'd up. He'd have been using a Yamaha kit on this album. The bass drums come through really well, and there's some of his trademark double bass drum work on this album. So delighted to pick that up for £3 at a shop actually in Morecambe, not in Lancaster. So that was great. Just never seen that before on vinyl. I've got his first and third albums on vinyl, but this is from years ago. Never seen this on vinyl. I had it on cassette way back, but just great to pick that up. Delighted. To continue the Cozy Powell theme, this was a great find in Bolton. It's a 12-inch single of Touch and Go, which was the single off the 1986 Emerson, Lake and Powell album. That album, of course, was a one-off. Carl Palmer was working with Asia under contract and sort of couldn't work with Emerson and Lake at the time. There's a little bit of a dispute about that. But anyway, they went ahead and recruited Cozy Powell, produced a terrific progressive rock album for the 80s, one of the sort of classic 80s progressive rock albums. So it was a comeback album for them. didn't do especially well. The marketing back then wasn't great. Progressive rock, particularly mid-80s, was really a dirty word. Nobody was interested in promoting progressive rock. The band toured the States and unfortunately didn't come to the UK. This single, which again is on Polydor, in great condition, I've spun it. There's an unreleased track on here that, of course, often happened with 12-inch singles to encourage people to buy them. It's actually the Locomotion, which everyone knows it, written by Goffin and King, and Kylie Minogue, of course, did a version of it. This is actually a great prog freakout track, very keyboard dominated, of course, very heavy drumming, no vocals on it. Greg Lake doesn't sing on it, but it's great to have it, and it's had slightly different covers for this 12-inch single. I've never quite seen this cover before, so I was delighted to have that and picked that up for £3. So absolutely terrific to have that for the collection. Okay, in Manchester, I picked up this. Now I've got about 3 CD versions of Brainside Surgery. I've got 4 vinyl copies, including a remastered copy in the Emerson, Lake and Palmer box set on 180 gram vinyl. So in all, I think I've got 7 or 8 versions of it. So why on earth would I want to pick this up? Well, as soon as I saw this in a £4 bargain bin, I knew it was going to be an unusual pressing because they've got the band name across the top. It doesn't fold out like the H.R. Geiger sleeves that came out on the Manticore label. So I immediately knew it was going to be an unusual label and press, which of course, for somebody like me and a lot of people, that it's hard to find these things. And this, really unusually, is a Yugoslavian press of Brainside Surgery. It's not on the Manticore label. I've never seen this on Atlantic Records before, but it is. Slightly unusual. It's got this sort of cellophane bag inside. I'll put it in a normal sleeve. But the record is in terrific condition. I actually love this alternative Atlantic label. It normally has the green and orange. This is grey and orange, which I've seen before. So I have looked it up. It's a Yugoslavian press. It sounds different to the other pressings I've got from around that time. There's more bass to it. The previous production and sound with Brainside Surgery was sort of very trebly, kind of a glassy sound. So great to have this slightly different cover with the band's name across the top. There's no kind of insert that comes with this. And in fact, interestingly, on the bottom here, it says Zagreb. So very interesting. Great to have that, £4. Delighted to have it, and as I said, it plays really well. So that was an unusual find, and there's not much by ELP that sort of passes me by. So just delighted to get that. Lastly, in a similar vein, I was down in Hove and Brighton, also a bit of a staycation, and I picked up this. This is a vinyl box set that I had seen on Discogs. It's an Italian box set, and it has the first 3 Emerson, Lake and Palmer albums. So the self-titled debut, it has Tarkus, the second album, studio album, and then the live album, Pictures at an Exhibition. So that's really about it. I mean, there's no inserts, unfortunately, in the box set. It just comes with the vinyl albums there. This looks almost unplayed. I mean, bearing in mind this is 40 years old, it was released in 1980. I'll just dig out one of the albums for you. This is actually Pictures at an Exhibition. So on the Manticore label, slightly different typeface and colouring. All the records are absolutely mint condition, so delighted, all three of them. So just very unusual, sturdy box, so it's nice. It's kind of in the style of the Works albums, so kind of quite unusual. Just the name on the spine there, and then you've got the three albums here, debut album Tarkus, and Pictures in an Exhibition. It's got this Orizzonte, whether that's sort of a distribution company in Italy, I don't know. As I said, I have looked it up on discography, and there's a few copies, not many, and it seems to go for reasonable amounts of money. I got this for a pretty good price. I bought it with a double live Camel album, a live record, which I may show another time. So absolutely delighted to get that. So I probably, like a lot of people that are really, really kind of into collecting certain bands, all this music I've got before, but it's just nice to have it in slightly different packages. And it's always nice to have something from overseas. So this being Italy, and of course the Yugoslavia one being very, very unusual. So that's it for now. I have quite a few of the records that I picked up are more around the jazz fusion genre rather than the progressive rock. And this, of course, has been very much focused on Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope everyone's doing okay and staying safe. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.